Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Stock Market Today. It's Coram and Shreve here with a look at the action in today's session, where we did see strong gains for the major indexes, but we're now approaching a key test, Ken.
Yes, indeed. Key test coming up for the Nasdaq. Didn't see a whole lot of volume in the market today. Preliminary data looks like it came in lower than what we saw Wednesday, so a little disappointing there. But we got three stocks to talk about. Three straight up days for AMD on a strong day overall for chip stocks. We'll discuss if this is making a good case for a bottom. Also take a look at Chinese stocks, which outperformed today, specifically Baidu, B-I-D-U, and finally coal stocks rallied sharply. The name holding up best in the group looks like Alliance Resource Partners, ARLP.
Yeah, three key areas to touch on there, so we'll get to the details on that. But first, let's take a look at the major indexes. So the Nasdaq leading the charge today, up about 2.3%. We also had the S&P 500 up 1.5%, and the Dow up 1.1%. So 3 straight days of gains, as you said, Ken. Getting close to the 50-day line here, and just crossing or right around the highs from late June as well. And then the weekly chart also shows an interesting picture.
Yeah, it's the weekly chart shows the Nasdaq bumping right up against that 10-week moving average. It's the 10-week moving average on the weekly chart, and then it's the 50-day moving average on the daily chart. So you can see the Nasdaq is bumping up right against that. It's possible, tomorrow we could make an attempt to rise above the 50-day moving average, which would be a compelling technical move. But when you look at the Nasdaq's last 3 gains, or frankly its last 4 gains, 4 up days in a row,
yes,
and look at the volume that came with these gains, it seems to be getting lighter and lighter and lighter. So so this is and even today, I mean, the session had a feel of another follow through type action, but it looks like Nasdaq volume is going to come in lower. So really not seeing a whole lot of conviction behind the buying. Basically means that we still feel the market needs to prove itself more here. Plus the fact that our stock screens are still kind of scant with prospects.
And also one more thing to point out is a trend line that we've been drawing, connecting the highs from late March down through late June. We are now above that. So even though we're right up against the 10-week, we could be hitting resistance there. We are clearing this trend line. So this is kind of an upper channel line, as one could say, that we've been butting up against, and we're now above that. So,
yes, this is looking the glass as half full. I like that, but yeah. So that's but again, there just really hasn't been any volume. It's true that the technical picture has improved, but we really need to see the Nasdaq get above its 50-day moving average. Need to see more signs of accumulation in the indexes. So we'll see. But 4 up days in a row for the Nasdaq, and really strong percentage gain today. So it's all good.
Couldn't agree more, Ken. Also, let's just very quickly look at the S&P 500 and Dow. S&P getting back above its 21-day line, and same for the Dow here, both below their late June peaks still so far. So really, the Nasdaq technology seems to be what's leading the advance. We've talked about a lot of beaten down names as some of the bigger movers here, although some bright spots. Coal, as you mentioned, which we will get to, but also let's take a look at 0TNX. This is the 10-year Treasury yield. Now, after a big upside reversal in yesterday's session, now getting back to that 3% mark and the 50-day line.
Yeah, more bond selling today, and that fueled another rise in the 10-year Treasury yield. So, listen, the Fed is meeting at the end of July, and we'll likely get an aggressive rate hike. And just important to be following the bond market here and watching its kind of sort of interplay with the stock market. So bond yields up again for the second straight session.
Okay, and now let's briefly take a look at UUP, because look at this trend in the dollar here, continuing to go up.
Yeah, I mean the gains in the stock market today were it wasn't because the U.S. dollar sold off. It was closed basically flat, just marginally higher. So this UUP ETF, which basically tracks the U.S. dollar index, still holding near highs, and a lot of people still buying dollars these days. We're, I guess, the prettiest house in the neighborhood when it comes to other foreign currencies.
Okay, and now let's analyze some stocks. Ken, you talked about AMD. So chip stocks, we've been saying, hey, it'd be great to have semis participate in this rally. Hadn't really seen that all too much. Maybe today that's starting to change. AMD up 3 sessions in a row. That's what was up 3 sessions in a row. The Nasdaq up 4 sessions, but AMD up 5% today. Volume light though.
Yeah, so I mean, this is the story. I mean, you look at a lot of charts in the Nasdaq. You look at all the big gainers in the Nasdaq 100 today. All the stocks up 5, 6, 7%. All the charts look like this. They're really damaged goods. Stocks that are trying to come out of downtrends, but AMD is doing it at least 3 straight days of gains in bone dry volume. So to me, this is not a convincing case for a bottom yet. Just need to see kind of renewed signs of accumulation, not only in AMD and some other former leading chip stocks, but also in the major stock indexes as well. So I think the market still needs to prove itself a little more here, and certainly it looks very, very early with a lot of these beaten down semiconductor stocks. So sort of caveat emptor, buyer beware, 3 straight gains in light volume, not a lot of conviction here.
Absolutely. All right, and China stocks heating back up. Well, Baidu today up some 3.7%, and perhaps a new entry is not all too far away, Ken.
Yeah, really looking at this 155.70 pivot and see if this can break out. I just like the way the stock has come off lows. It's done so with some volume. Recent price gains have come in some lighter volume, but a lot of Chinese stocks are making actually a very strong case for a bottom here. I think Baidu's got the best technical setup in the group of Chinese stocks. So watching this one for a breakout over this 155.70 pivot.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and set an alert here on Marcus Smith. Very handy that we could do that. And it'll be on our radar as soon as it crosses that level, if and when it does that. Okay, and last but not least, ARLP out of the energy coal group, getting back above its 50-day line. I believe the first or one of the first in the coal group to do so. Previously, I feel like we've been paying more attention to BTU or Arch Resources, but ARLP here maybe a little on the thinner side in comparison to those names. But the chart is saying, hey, maybe there's a little bit of a rotation in leadership in this group.
Yeah, again, kind of a lower volume gain today, but it did show noteworthy technical action. So in normally a healthy market, I would say this would qualify as a buy signal. Typically, when a stock moves above the 50-day line, you'd like to see some volume, but we're in kind of a low volume time for the market right now, sort of the summer doldrums. But Alliance Resource has again held up a lot better than coal stocks. So it's in the process of forming a new base here. It's going to be a later stage base when you look at the weekly chart. It's a good example. Some people may have looked at this stock, jumping above its 50-day moving average, and maybe it's a buy. But when you look at how much the stock has gone up, it's broke out from a couple bases already, forming a new base here, and it looks like it's going to be a later stage, probably a third stage base if it completes. But I like the price action in ARLP today, and definitely one of the stronger performing coal stocks at this point.
Yes, it is. All right. Well, thank you so much for all of that analysis, Ken, and for everyone for tuning in. Make sure you go to leaderboard.investors.com. We're going to have our monthly swing trader, actually. Leaderboard was on Tuesday. Swing trader scorecard is today. So we'll be talking about monthly performance for the month of June. Swingtrader.investors.com, and click on the top banner there if you are a subscriber or trialist. We will see you there. And we'll also see you tomorrow morning on IBD Live, where we will be joined by Eric Kroll, co-author of The Life Cycle Trade. He's done a lot of research into follow through days and how market rallies unfold, how they begin, and really looking forward to connecting with him on that, and some names that are on his watch list, perhaps some younger stocks that are earlier on in their life cycle. So it'd be good to chat with him. So we'll see you there at investors.com/IBD Live for all the details on that. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you back here tomorrow.